What is the difference between these two words?
తీసుకొని ఈ కరెంట్ పోల్ ఎక్కడం పెద్ద సమస్య ఏం కాదని అనుకొని సాధించగలిగాను. అండ్ ప్రదీప్ గారు ఇంకో విషయం నేను చదివింది ఏంటంటే వీళ్ళు కోర్టు నుంచి నోటిఫికేషన్ తెప్పించుకున్నారు ఎందుకు ఉమెన్లు ఉండొద్దు అని గవర్నమెంట్ నుంచి అప్రూవల్ కాదు కోర్టుకి వెళ్ళి మాకు కావాల్సిందే అని కోర్టు నుంచి నోటిఫికేషన్ తెప్పించుకున్నారు. జాబ్
Good evening, all. Okay. So today's topic is about JavaScript. So in JavaScript, we are going to discuss on event handlings. So what is event handling or event? Yes, very good evening. Right, so what is event? Okay, so an event is an action. Okay, so it's an action which is performed by a user. So whoever interacts with an application, so definitely, there will be some interaction with application or action which is performed by the user. So that's called it as an event. Okay, so today we are going to, learn that event handling in JavaScript. Actually, yesterday I have given one simple example, but I have not executed successfully. So I'll give you even that is an example for your event handling. So basically, how events are nothing but actions. What kind of actions will be performed with a web application as a user? So we may enter some data and in text boxes, or we may click on audio buttons or radio buttons or check boxes, right? And we may perform action by clicking on a specific buttons, right? So these all are the actions which is performed by the users, right? So, and there are it's not only entering or user interaction, not only with the entering data event, we have a mouse events also. Okay, so JavaScript supports mouse events as well. And what are the events which is performed with application? That can be clicking, clicking. So when you click on a button, it performs some actions, right? And mouse over. So basically, when the user, when the cursor of a mouse, it comes over the element over on the screen, so it performs a specific task, right? And also mouse out. Okay, when the cursor of a mouse, it leaves an element, even that is a kind of action. And mouse down, mouse up. Okay, and we have move as well. Okay, so the movement of a mouse also can be captured with the help of this, event handling in JavaScript. Along with this, even we have keyboard events. Okay, keyboard events. So when you press on a, any specific key, it performs a specific, task, right? And also we have a form events as well. Okay, so in that form events, we have form focus and submit, blur, change. These are the events which is performed by form. And we do have a window or a document. So with a window, we can perform the events by kind of loading or unload or resize the window, etc. Okay, so now let's see. So with this presentation once, right? So events and of course, so event handling and validation. So obviously, JavaScript always used for majorly it's used for client-side validation. Okay, and then working with the form objects. So form objects with element properties and methods and the events, right? Right. So an event is an action that is fired or initiated with a web page. And yes, JavaScript is a single thread based. Okay, also it's useful for creating interactive web pages. And yes, JavaScript uses asynchronous callbacks. And of course, this is the simplest way to run .js code in response to an event, which is used an event handler. So it's event handler is just a kind of function. Okay, it's a kind of function which we have to define. So here you can you can find different events which can be performed in JavaScript: on change, on submit, on reset, select, blur, and so on. Okay, right. And here is an example. So very simple example. And you people can observe here, we have a form tag. And inside a form tag, input type equals to button, name equals to test, and value equals to click me. So value can be passed anything. And we have to call a method called, attribute called onClick. So onClick equals to inform. So what is inform? It is a function, right? So when you perform, when you perform some action on, on a web page, then it has to redirect a specific function. So here is which is a function. That function name is inform, and it says that you have activated me by clicking gray button. Okay, right. So when the user clicks on the button inform, when the user clicks on a button, and as a backend process, it calls a method called inform method. Okay, so inside inform method, what we have, it's just an alert message. So it displays alert message. Right. So yes, JavaScript is mainly used for validation. Of course, JavaScript data validation happens before form is submitted, because it's a client-side data. If it's server-side application, server-side application validation happens after the form submission of an application server. And this form validation performs by following functions. So first one is a basic validation and data format validation. So there are two ways we can perform basic validation and data format validation, right? Right. So you all you all can observe here we have a form, so which is signed by the browser, and user enters data, right? So here, the client side data, you all can see, please enter your name, enter your email, or phone number, etc. So we have so many fields, right? This is the client side validation. This is before submitting data. Before submitting data, data is going to be validated whether it meets proper criteria or not. Okay, so this needs to be defined by client side, especially with the presentation layer. Okay, right. Let's continue with this. Right, so here is a simple example again for the form. So we have form tag, name equals to register, and action, it's just an symbol mention. So here we have a method as a post, and first name, last name with the input type tags. And we have a button tag, so value as a register, and on click method is validate data. Okay, so actually we are trying to get the value in script. So where first name equals to document dot register dot first name dot value, and then we are we are taking one more variable, that is last name document dot register dot last name dot value, and then we are validating. So we are validating with the help of conditional. Why is my screen is stuck? Okay, let me reshare my screen. Hope it's visible now. Okay. View says yes, view says no. You can check, internet connect from your end as well. Fine. Okay, so this is in form validation, and you all can observe here. Actually, we are getting, if first name equals to null, or first name equals to empty, and it's not and, it's or. Okay, so what is or? What is the use of or? If any one condition, if any condition is successful, or if any one values matches, then the rest of the values also eligible for its execution, right? It will not stop its execution. So suppose, if it meets the criteria, then it gets into the conditional statement, and here we are getting a message. So message, one second. Right, so we are getting ID by calling message dot inner inner HTML. It's equals to, so yes, enter value for name. So this is just a simple form validation, and let me show you that Eclipse. Let me open my Eclipse. So form validation. Actually, I've done this yesterday without explaining or event handling, but that was not successfully executed. A small, it's related to spelling. Okay, so rest of the things are fine, but only mistaken with the spelling. It's especially with the cases. Right, so let's go to D5 it is, and here in this form tag, not this one. Login form with JS, right? So you all can observe actually what I did. So here, especially yesterday, in the last session, what I did. So here I used, normal user. Okay, so this is the ID name, but because of this, case sensitive letter, so it is not running. It was not executed. Let me show you with this execution. So of course, it says it is showing a login form, but what's happening? One second, let me refresh project. Fine. So fields are actually it's working. So I guess it's a 1 and 1, 2, 3. Right. So I try to change the user, user case. It was working for uppercase, and now it's working for lowercase as well. Okay. So yes, let me explain once again. So here we have an, let's go to body part. Inside form tag. So we have taken, inside form tag, we have taken table, cell padding, value we have, passed. And if needed, cell spacing, actually spacing is not needed because we don't have any rows and column, but still. cell spacing equals to, so, and let's see. Okay, so now it's about heading. So heading, I mean, header of the body tag. So that is here, form tag, I'm using it as a login form. And then I'm using here, two input types, input type tags. One is for the username and another one is for the password. Okay. And along with this, we must use ID because with the help of these IDs only, we are evaluating. Okay. And now it's about, submit button. Okay. Submit button. So input type equals to button and value I taken it as a sign in and, on click. Okay. So this is the check method. Okay, so this is the JavaScript method which is defined, after the body, after the header tag. Let's see that later. And I used one more division tag just to display, the name, image and the address of, specific. So this is especially for the tech solution, along with the, address. So I didn't pass complete address, just I passed it as in Bangalore with a code, right? So if you want, actually, I just use a xxs.png. So if you wanted, if you need, you can have or you can get a specific image. Okay. So actually, this is optional. I just tried for simply. Let me comment this. Okay, so it's commented. And right, so now if you want to, if you want to give this hyperlink. Okay, let me comment here. So comment in this comment. So I'm just giving hyperlink with the okay. So I'll just even I'll make this click. Yeah. I'm just if needed. Okay. And now what I want to say here. So let me move this to a center as well. Center. Again, I'll make this center. Okay, so now I have to explain you this check method on click, right? So when we click on a button, it has to give some response. So now we'll see that the JavaScript check method function. So here we are, we're taking, it's like declaration and initialization. Okay. And now, yes, document dot group element by ID, and we are getting username ID as a user dot value. So it retrieves value from the user. And again for the password as well, it retrieves value from the user and it initializes to this pass variable. Okay. And now we are, we are passing the condition. So what condition is it? If user equals to empty or password equals to empty, it says that, fields are empty. Okay. So now let's go to the other condition. So if it is empty, it displays one alert message. And in case if you enter some data, especially the validation one. So here, ExcelR. ExcelR at 1, 2, 3. So assume that this is my, username and user must enter this data. Then only it will display success or successfully registered. or logged in. Okay. If at all, both the condition fails, then it directly goes to give another alert message that is invalid. Okay. And finally, it's returning false. So this is about your, the function. So let's see about, execution part. And yes, click on next, finish it up. So now I have not entered anything. Okay. So it's displays that fields are empty. And now ExcelR, I clicked on sign in because we are using or condition in the sense if any one field is empty, then it displays what kind of message it will display. Fields are empty. Okay, so now I'll enter ExcelR and 1, 2, 3. So what it is displaying? It displays alert message as success. So if you can click on OK. And actually I had given a hyperlink. So this hyperlink, of course, if needed, you can go ahead, or else you can leave. Just for showing purpose, I just gave. Okay. So this is how this login form will work. Okay. Hope it is clear. Any queries in this? Yes, it is possible. We can give, we can get it from the database as well. In such cases, we need to have a database, information. We need to set up the database connectivity, everything we have to. Okay, so now let's move to another C. So here, what kind of action, which is, event I'm doing. So actually I'm trying to move or, use the cursor, right? And also I'm trying to use, event. What kind of event here now? So clicking a button, right? Clicking on a button. Okay. Why it is displaying techno? Because I commented, no? Just a second. Right. So it's perfect now. Any queries in this? Okay, fine then. So, and we'll try for simple, simple event handler, that is for displaying the date, displaying current date. Then we'll see, few program part. Now we'll see how to display the current date. Let me create one more folder for today. It's for JavaScript event handling. Okay. Now let's actually folder is not necessary. We want to go ahead with normal way also without folders. We can create our JavaScript files or HTML files in a web content folder as well. Okay. Now we'll see one simple example for date function. Okay, so again, it is HTML file, and this is for date, display date. Let me give display date. Date function. So I'm not, I'm not defining specific function for date. So we have, JavaScript provides default method, for date. So I'm using that. I'm going to use that. So inside body, so body tag, let's go to input. Instead of input, we have a button tag. So button type equals to, yeah. So here let's go and select this button. Wrong. So here I don't, it's not needed to use button because I'm going to pass name, specific text for it. Okay, so now button. Let's go to on click. On click. So on click equals to, it's not equals to on click dot get element by. Okay. Before that, let me create one tag. So I'm taking paragraph tag. So for paragraph, I'm defining ID equals to some. Okay, I'm taking it as a D for date. Okay, so now what I'll do for this on click dot, we have to call the method for this ID. Okay, so for that on click dot get element by ID. Okay, and by ID with this we have to call this demo. Okay, so it's not demo, it's a D. Okay, and D dot inner HTML dot here actually we are not calling anything, so let's go to date. Okay. Any questions in this? Fine. So as I said, we have to give some text here. Okay. So time is, let me give time. I'm just giving time. Okay. And now undefined attribute name dot HTML. What is this name? Okay, so actually on click it's equals to, not equals to document dot get element by ID. Okay, so and it's enclosed with double quotes, right? Yes. So now, let me print the time. Why it says 404 error. Correct only. So then what happens here? Refresh. Should I give space here? It's preview only. Everything is fine, but I don't know why it's giving, you know. Let me take in today's date actually. So let's go here. Okay, so try from your end, guys. It's actually there is none, no errors here, but yes, it's not working for me. I mean, it's giving 4, not 4 error. No context on this word matched. So let me try this one once. So I tried last option. Everything is fine. Okay, let me try for other one. I mean, other demo, and then I'll come back to this. Or else try one more option here itself. So I'm trying to comment this and same way. Okay. Button. Okay. Button on click equals to within double quotes inner HTML. Instead of directly inner HTML, let me call this. Okay, this dot inner HTML equals to. Let me give the space. Okay. Within before the double case, so I should call the date. Okay, date function. Let me try this option. Okay. So now at least click. Yeah, it's okay. Let me try. It's not working this one. If still this one is not working in this sense, I have to check my hair. Application. Not working. I opened one hello.html. Let's take this. Here it is working. So problem with project creation. Okay, actually in the previous project, so in yesterday's last class project, it's working. So it's displaying the time, date, right, along with the day as well. Okay, so this is a one type of event handling. So nothing I did here. I just used a date, on click this dot inner HTML equals to date. So this function gives actually this is a define or predefined method. Okay. Right. So now even you can try this, the first option as well. It will work. Okay. First option. It works. What is inner HTML? Okay. So JavaScript inner HTML, it's a property, property sets the HTML content of an element or web page. Okay. Basically, let me write here above body. Okay. Let me take the comment. In comment, I'm writing. Inner HTML. Inner HTML property. It sets HTML content, contents of elements on a web page. Right. So even this inner HTML is often used to set and modify the contents of paragraph element as well. Okay. So that is about inner HTML. Hope it's clear now. Fine. So let me create one more folder in this project itself. Okay. So I'm taking today's. Okay. So JavaScript event. Okay. Let me try now here. Fine. So even you can comment this line and you can try, or if not, both you can try it. Okay. Both both button based, we can try it. So let me take break here. Okay. So now let me run this. So you can check anything, anyone. So both are same. Okay. Okay. So let's move to another concept, that's for mouse handling. Okay. Now let's see with one simple example for mouse. Forward. So again, inside this body type script, see here by default it's taking type. Instead of type, even we can take language. Okay, so we can take language as well. Let me show you. Language is JavaScript. Okay, even this can also be used. Right. So now we can define, one simple function. It's just a simple function. So here I'm taking function keyword, and the name is, I'm just taking event. I'm taking it as an M event, mouse event. Okay. So inside this, let's, I'm taking alert. So in alert, let me display message. I'm taking it as a hello all. Okay. So now it's the element. It's a paragraph. Okay. With a paragraph on mouse. So I'm taking mouse over. Okay. So mouse over with the M event. Okay. M event. And here I'm closing. Okay. So here you can write anything. Okay. So keep here, or keep mouse here. Let's see, let's find the difference. Hope you guys can see. When I keep my cursor, mouse on this, keep mouse here, it's displays, it's displaying alert message as in hello all. Any query on this? If no question, let's move to the another one. Okay, so I'm closing. So without doing any action, if I move, if I move the cursor, so on this keep mouse here, it is displaying alert message. So that is. Let me close this. Okay. So this is about, mouse over. Even you can do that same things for other things as well. And We'll see one simple example for the focus. HTML file again. This is for, okay, let's take it as a focus demo. So inside body tag, so let's take, header tag. H1. So I'm writing here, enter some data. Instead of some data, let me write enter data. Okay. Right, so after this, I'm going to write the script, and yes, of course, Java, type, either it can be language as well. So here again, function, and the name, focus event. Okay, focus event. Inside this, document dot get element by ID. Okay, so I'm trying to get element by ID. So ID is, I'm taking it as an input. Input dot dot style somewhere it's missing logic. Okay. Style dot background. It's style dot background equals to, so within double quotes, we can pass any color. Okay. So I'm passing, red. And this ID we have to define it now. So where we have defined, where we have to define. So this is basically inside, body tag. And now let's take input and type equals to text. Type equals to text. And now here I'm taking input, as an ID. Input and on focus. Okay, on focus equals to the function name, that is f event. So actually this function must be inside double quotes. And right, so we can close this now. So let me check. Say when the mouse, when the cursor keeps on this, box, it, it focuses. Okay. So this is about, simple event handling. So we are just using keyboard to perform these, operations. Hope it's clear. Even you can use, keyboard as well, keyboard functions as well. Okay, so for entering data or for, any specific usage, we can use a keyboard, keys. Okay, when you press, when you release. So every time, when you click on any button, you can handle that. When you release, you can handle that. So everything can be performed, everything can be handled in JavaScript. Everything in the sense related to the mouse, related to the keyboard. Hope it is clear now. Okay, so now we'll just move to another, another simple learning programming part. Okay, so let's take, try to find factorial of a given number. How to find? It's not reflecting. One minute, let me, it's not, color is not reflecting. Why is it? Spelling mistake, that's the reason. So we can say this is an, inner, see? So it's focusing. Previously it was wrong. So because of, spelling mistake, right now it's focusing the area which you want to enter data. Okay, so now let me close all. Now I'm gonna write one simple program. So even this is an example for your event handler. Right, so let's go to JavaScript event handling folder and create one HTML file. So this is for not prime number, it's for factorial. Okay, so now, so suppose if you enter 4, we may need to find factorial of 4, or we may need to find factorial of 3. So depends on, user requirement. When the user enters a number, it has to display the factorial of a given number. Okay, so now let's move here. Let me change the title. Factorial. And now inside body tag, if you wanted to pass, any CSS for this, inline CSS or internal CSS, we can go ahead for that. Okay, so here I'm taking style equals to so extra line value, I'm passing it as a center, and center comma. Again for the same text, I'm taking font size. Font size, let's go with a medium. That's fine. I'll take numbers. Okay, 20 pixels. Basically, we take in the form of pixels. Okay, so now let's get into the body tag. So h1, and yes, so you can write anything here. Welcome to ExcelR. Okay, so I'm just I just written here as in welcome to ExcelR, and right, I'm going to take number, enter number. Okay, along with this number. So definitely, if we want to get value from the user, we need to have an input text box, right? Okay, so input, I'm taking ID, sorry. So here is input, and ID equals to, so let's take num, any variable it can be. So now break. Okay, so, and now let's take again button, and button with the on click. So on click, Okay, on click equals to the function. Okay, so I'm just writing it as a function name. What I can take here, factorial. So for that, I'm taking short name as fact. Okay, within double quotes, yes. And now, so here you can say here factorial or factorial of a given number, anything we can write it. Now move to the next line. So I'm defining paragraph tag. Paragraph ID equals to result. Okay, and then close this paragraph. And now, I'm going to define the script. Okay, script in the sense, I'm trying to write the logic to find the factorial of a given number. And for that, I'm taking script. And again, here I'm going to use, looping statement. So for loop. Okay, before for loop, we have to define function. Function name is which one we have taken here? Spelling wrong. So let me replace name with a fact. And basically for the factorial number, we have to define, we have to declare variables, few variables right now. So here variable, where I, comma, I'm taking, f and one number variable. Okay. And again, so especially, we cannot find factorial by, multiplying 0, right? So I'm taking that f and initializing value as 1. And now number, okay, so number equals to document dot get element by ID. Okay, so now enter that number. This one. Somewhere we will get it from the user now. So that one. ID, this one. Let me take this as number. Okay, so now let me call that inner HTML dot inner HTML and it's equals to, so we have to assign some value here, some value in the sense factorial of a given number, just for printing of a given number. Okay, so number, and let's move to the next line. So in the next line, because I just wanted to print value. What am I doing here? Element its value. And now I'm taking for loop. Okay, so I have already declared, I. So I'm taking directly I'm initializing. So I with 1, not a 0. I is 1. I less than number. I less than. So even, it's not less than. So we have to use less than equal to. Okay, so let's take number and get inside loop. So inside loop, what we have to do here? Fact. So here for fact. So I'm taking F. So if you need it, let me take. Okay, then function name will be same as variable name. So no need of confusion. So let's go to F. F equals to F into I. So what is I? I initialize with a 0, 1. And now come out of the loop, and here make I value is I equals to I minus 1. And now document dot get element by ID, and here we are initializing, we are passing result. Okay, so the one ID, this ID we have to pass here. Okay, so result dot inner HTML equals to tutorial of given number. So then come out of it, and so call plus I okay, so and double quotes with is equal to F. So I'm printing value F. This is a factorial one. Okay, so now close this, close the brace and script. Okay, script. Script is closed, and body with HTML. Hope it should work well. For loop. One extra brace. Okay, let's see. If anything, we'll change it. Okay, so then run on server. Okay, button is displaying but not result. What needs to be changed here? It's displaying this button, but while calling, there is some issue. Let's see that. for I equals to 0, I less than equals to num, and I plus plus. So right, and we have to calculate this, factorial number, and right. So document dot get element ID. So this ID is a result. So ID is this one, and inner HTML. So nothing is wrong. Everything is fine. But what else? What is so? Yes. I and F. So I'm trying to print the number along with the value. I mean factorial. Let me try. So you know why? Because I missed here, colon. Anything else I missed up? Let me try now. Still. Now everything is fine. Even after adding semicolon, still it's not actually it's not at all reaching this function. Okay, let me try with another one. Nothing. I just created one more, project and I'm trying. Okay. So it's actually not moving inside, it's not able to call that function. But why? Everything is right. No? Right. So it's working because, so I had given space between this less than and equal, a small mistake. Okay. So let me explain once. So this function, factorial function. So we have declared three variables and we have initialized factorial value. F value is 1 because, we cannot multiply value with a 0. So always we must initialize with a 1. It can be in any programming language. Okay, so and we are trying to get this ID value from the user. Okay, and then so we are applying the condition. So what condition is that? I equals to 1 and I less than or equals to the given number. Okay, so basically, how we find factorial. So it will be like, if it is, 4, so 4 factorial equals to 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, right? Okay, so same format. So initially, value of f. So f is equals to fact equals to, let me write here with a comment. So f equals to, what is the f value? It is 1 into I value 1, right? So equals to 1. And again, again after completion of this, we don't have so we have condition here. What condition here? What is the condition? Again, I value goes to increment. So what is I value now? Initially it is 1. Now it was 1 and now it will become 2, right? And now I value is 2. Of course, okay, assume that num value is let's take 4 only because here I given 4, right? So initially I value right, I value equals to 1. After increment it will become 2. Obviously 2 is less than 1, right? Right, 2 is less than 4. And yes, again it goes inside and it calculates. So calculate in the sense f value is 1 and I value is f equals to f value was 1 into I value is 2. Okay, So now value of f is equals to 2. And again, again for loop goes, sorry, I value goes increment. So now the value of I will be 3. And now again control comes to the inside of the loop. And now what happens? So f equals to, f value is what? 2 into I value is 3. Okay. So now what is the value? 2 into 3 equals to 6. Okay. And again value goes to increment. So now this task is done again. So control goes to increment I value. So what is I value now? It's a 4. So is 4 is less than equals to 4? So 4 is actually less than 4, right? Sorry, it's not less than, it's a less than equal to. So it's a equal, right? Yes. So now again, condition satisfied, so gets inside this loop, and now f value, sorry. So here, f is equals to, f value was 6 into 4. So what is the value? Is value of f is equals to 24. Okay, so this is a final value of factorial of 4. And again, I value gets incremented to 5, but you know what, 5 is not less than equals to 4. So condition comes out, control comes out of the for loop execution. So then immediately we have one more concept. So here what is the value now? Value of I is what? What was the I value? It was 5. So we are decrementing by 1, so it becomes 4. Okay, so let me write here also. So I value was 5 equals to, I equals to 5 minus 1. So it becomes 4. And that one we are printing. So factorial of given number 4 is, the value, the final value. So that is what, we are getting here. And now, so this is the, moving cursor. And here is about, performing actions with the buttons. Hope it's clear. Any queries in this? So now, this text box is done. Button, button of performing some events on button is done. So now we'll try one simple example for radio button. Okay, one simple example for radio button. Right. So for radio button, what needs to be taken here? Let me create a new program. Oh, this is event handling, right? Okay, so it's radio button activity. And right, so inside body tag, so you can have any definition. So basically H1 I used to take up, right? So I'm trying to display menu. And here in the body tag, I'm going to take input. So input type equals to, it's a radio. This is related to the radio button, right? And now ID equals to what can be passed here? Okay. Let's take okay. I'm just taking it as a study. Instead of study, let me take it as a student. What kind of student here? So I'm taking school student. Okay, so I'm just taking, and for this we can have a name. Okay, so any name, I'll be taking it as an status. Okay, so status. Sorry. So now come out of it, and yes. So I am in. I am school. I'm just writing this. Okay. So now let's take a break. So let's have a break tag. Okay. And again, so let me take one more. I'll take 4 radio buttons. If needed, you can go ahead with a few more. So here, enter student. So let's say, okay. And then let's take, one more radio button. So for that, what can be passed here? Okay, so what can be passed here? So school student is done, enter is done, and now let's take I am sorry. After after enter student and graduation has, let me take graduation. So let me take here my graduation. So it's just for general purpose I'm writing. So now employee. So let's go here. I'm writing status as searching job. Okay, one more. Employee. Okay, so let's take. I am working in XYZ company. Okay. How many radio buttons we have? 5, right? So now let's go to take one ID. So paragraph and paragraph tag with ID equals to let's take it as a, show the status, and great. So now we are going to write the script. Okay, script, and yes, I'm inside of the script tag. So let, or where mm, show equals to, so I'm calling, I'm using document. Okay, so document dot add, add event listener. Okay, and event listeners, and here with the event listeners, change. Okay, change. Sorry, it's out of this, and I'm calling the function. Okay, function along with the object, and okay, so let's end with this. And now I'm taking again. So even we can take where as well, sorry, let keyword, for declaring. Okay. Here after show add element. So this is an event listeners. Okay. When you perform on a specific, when you select any one radio button, depending on that, it has to listen. After listening, it has to respond. It has to respond. So that is about, event listeners. One second. Okay. So let's go to, let's continue. And here, so I'm taking again, target. So target equals to this object. Okay. So this object dot e dot target. Okay. And now I'm going to take one more, variable. So let me take let display display message MSG. Okay, MSG. So now I'm going to take switch case. Switch. So here switch, key is target.id. Okay. Target dot, where is that ID? ID. Okay. So target.id, and let's get into the case value. So here how many cases actually we have to have, 6 cases. Okay, so here which is the first value of ID? So this is school student. I'm just copying and pasting. Okay, so within single quote. So yes, school student, and if it is school student, let's display message. So we can write here view message. So colon display underscore MSG. Okay. So along with this, display message equals to, we can initialize some value. Okay. Let me write, I'm in school in the sense. So let's write. I'm writing it as an 8th standard. Yes, I'm 8th standard. And let me take one more case. Let's see if any case. Okay, right. So we have break statement. Okay, so let me write one more case because I have to write 5 cases. Okay, case equals to, so break. What is the use of break? Guys, what is the use of break? So again, I'll just go there and copy. So again here, display message. Okay, display underscore message equals to I am in final year. Okay, and for the graduation, okay, for graduation, I can say here display message equals to completed graduation in last year. Okay, so now we have to have a break. So again, come back here, unemployed. Okay, so let's go here. So actually here it's wrong, double quotes I have given. And now display message, and we are setting one message here equals to, what is this? Not getting any job. Okay, since 6 months. Okay, so then the last one, employee. Okay, so now employee, it's fine. So display message equals to so you can write it as a found and a job. Okay. So now, right. So even we have a default, so why default is about, So if anything, none. Default is actually not needed, but still, it can have low. So if nothing, okay. So if case none, if case none, we can display message as none. Display message equals to, it is none. Okay. So at last, either we can have this, default, or we can remove. That's not an issue. And yes, come out of this and, write one statement is that show dot, show dot text context, equals to, it's not double quote, sorry, equals to display message. Okay, and now we can close this and come out of it. So then it's a breaking tag, I mean script tag closing, and the body tag with HTML. So it is done. I have to check where wherever I missed. So now everywhere I have to end it with a semicolon. Okay, let me run this. Somewhere I have, so radio buttons are displaying, but function is not calling. This is the switch case. This is a mistake. Dissolve calling change. Event listeners is fine. Where is this method is opened? Okay. I thought of giving one more exercise. Okay, I will check this and I will give it, I will share it with you all. For now, I have to share one more, one more activity that's for, anyhow, login we have already seen. Now, I just wanted to show you with, what is this, registration page. Okay. So I'll check this and then I'll share it with you all. For now, I'll just create one more, one more activity that's for registration page. Okay. So now, inside body tag, I'm taking, few, fields. First of all, let's take it, align. It's not link. Align equals to, so center. And now get into this. Here it is, H1. Basically, we will be having create count, right? And here, I'm gonna take a table. Okay, so table, and here, as usual, we can have a cells, cell spacing. Cell spacing equals to 3, and yes, cell array equals to, let me take 5. Okay, so then, even we can have align. So align equals to, align, let's go with the center. So align can be, left, right, or center. Okay, so now let's take, okay, so it's actually, these are disgraced by HTML5. Fine, so now I'm taking, tr, TR and TD, and in the TD, so email ID. Before email ID, let's take a name. Okay, please observe name and close this TD, and again TD with input type. So input type equals to text, and I'm going to use a placeholder as well. Okay, enter name, and ID as well. ID equals to, so here I'm passing name 1. Okay, so N1, and now I can have close tag for TD and for TR. Okay, so now again, let me take this for, this is for mail, name is done. Okay, so let's go with the email ID. Okay, so with this email ID, what needs to be taken? So input type as a text, and placeholder, enter email. Let's go with ID. Okay, and here let me take email, so E. Sorry. And now it's done for the email, enter name. Before this email ID, I'm taking for password. Okay, so here let me change here as password. Password, and in the password field, come to this. So here we have to change it as in password, right? And place, set password, and ID I'm passing it as in P. Okay, so this is for the password, and even we can have confirm password. Confirm password. So this is confirm password. Again, input field will be same. Placeholder will be needs to be okay. So what is it? Confirm your password. Okay. One. 1 minute. Right, so confirm password is done. So here I'll take a P1. Okay, for confirm password P1 I am taken. Okay, so email address is done. So now we can go ahead with the what is it? Enter email ID, and we do have few more fields. So but we can go ahead and we can click on input. TD, TR, everything is done, right? Right. So now we can go with, input. Input type equals to submit, and on click equals to create. Okay, so there should not be a space, so underscore account. Okay, so this is a method. Fine. And now the table is closed. Why it is discouraging? Multiple annotations found. What are these multiple annotations? Oh, I should have here, tr and td. Okay, so now open to this. Okay, so I have a table, closing table, and now we have to define script. Okay, so let me take script, and here in the script, so what is a function name? So function name is create account. In create account, let me declare var n1 equals to document dot get element by id. Okay, so by id within double quotes. So here I'm passing, it's a name, that is n dot value. Okay, so again var name, then it's password, right? So p1, let me take p2. Okay, p2 equals to let me take, I'm just copying and pasting. Okay, so here document dot but here it is p password, and get into the next line. So var p3 for confirmation. So p3 equals to, so now here get element, so that is p1. Okay, so now var e1 equals to, so here it is e, this is for the email. Okay, and now only 4 fields I have taken. Extra I can, we could take more links, sorry, more fields. Okay, so now even e dot value, fine. So here it's we are going to pass the pattern for password. Okay, this is for the password validation. So now take var pattern. I'm just taking a single ptrn because there will be predefined words in that name. Okay, pattern equals to / with so here I'm writing A to Z with a uppercase, even with a lowercase as well. A to Z plus plus any special symbol. So I'm using here $. Okay, and amending. Okay, so this is the pattern I'm passing. Fine. And again for var email validation equals to no double quotes, equals to / okay, / ended with this. Okay, so now here, is it so condition? Which condition is that? Once again, 6. Okay, so I'm passing here. It can be started with A to Z. Okay, after A to Z, 0 to 9. Okay, 0 to 9. And this should be enclosed within parenthesis. Oh, sorry. Right. Actually, here we can pass, special symbols which you needed. Fine. And now we have to pass. Okay, so we have to use a plus symbol. Again, slash with the at. Again, so you can have format. Again, A to Z, and 0 to 9. Okay. So 0 to 9, again we have one more, one more validation now. So, but for now, it is enough. Okay. So they store enough. And now let's go with other validation part. Okay. So other validation. So what is that other validation? If n1, if n1 equals to or if e1 it's not e1, so that is p2. Oh god, it's p3. N1 is done. Now it's a p2 equals to or validation. So p3 equals to it's double equal actually. So double equals to again empty. So now it's E1 equals to, if it is empty, okay. So what we have to alert. So alert, enter all details. All information. Okay. Enter all information. And yes, so after alert. After alert, let's come out of this, and here we have else if what. So here inside this if not, so we have not letters. So where we have a letter, it's a if not pattern. Okay, the pattern not dot test of n1 name. So we can have alert. So in alert, what we can pass, so name is incorrect. Name is actually validation for each member attribute. So name is incorrect. So it can have it must have alphabets. Okay, so this is alert for pattern. And now again, you can go ahead with a else if so here it is for password now, else if what is that, p p equals to what is it, p2. Okay, so let's get inside and write that alert message, alert, and within double quotes, password is not matching. Okay, and now come out of this execution. Again, else if so we do have to pass it for password, sorry, email. So if not email, so here what I passed, it's a E1, right? One second. So this is about correct. Email underscore value if it's equal to email underscore with the value dot test, so test of E. Okay, we are checking with the E1, this element. Okay, and yes, we can we can alert here by passing invalid format, invalid format. Okay, right, so now we can go ahead. So for password, I'm not going to write it because for password we have many more alert messages can be displayed, but it is enough. So again, else if is done. So let's go with the one else part. Okay, so else, and here you can have alert. Inside else, we can have alert that your account is created. Okay, and finally, after your alert message, then we can call window dot okay, so let's see about script, and yes, everything is closed properly. So now let me check it executes, runs or not. Actually, complete validation for password field I have not passed. So enter name. Okay, so is actually, validation is done with a name. So it says that name is incorrect. It must have, alphabets only. So password is not matching because, I just passed, improper one. Okay. So hope, it is clear about registration page. Actually, I had to add a few more fields. So actually time is up. So I just added, name, password, confirm password, and email ID. So we can pass, text area, radio buttons to select gender, right? So we can have many more fields. Okay. So you people can add, few more fields with this existing, registration page along with the validation. So nothing. So we have to pass the pattern. Along with the pattern, we may need to, we have to we have to give the alert message. That's it. That's what is your client-side validation. Even for this, client-side validation, even we can use the CSS. Hope it is clear. Regular expressions, yes, it will work. Suppose, pattern A1, A1. Password is actually not meeting the criteria. Let me check. Password pattern. Okay, so along with a plus symbol. I mean, dollar symbol. Is it? So we had to pass, uppercase first, then it lowercase. Actually, I passed, lowercase, then uppercase. That's the reason it's not accepting. Yes. So if we enter uppercase letter first and lowercase letter first, in second, and along with the dollar symbol, it will work. Right. So email regular expression will work. Okay, actually, I have to add, few more with for passing dot, after, entering any XYZ name name at gmail.com or yahoo.com, etc. So we need to pass a proper, regular expression. Okay, fine. So I will share, I will share this code. So you people can add a few more fields for this registration page, like text area or for, radio buttons, checkboxes, etc. Okay. If any queries, drop a message in chat window so that I'll get back to you. For now, time is up. We'll wind up the session. Okay. Thank you all.